What's going on, guys, and welcome to today's video. And today we are obviously not in Kansas, we are in Cancun, Mexico, but we aren't really here looking at the beach, or at least I'm not. We're gonna be going into town and looking at the cars, because that's what I'm always interested in, is the weird make and model stuff that we don't have in the States. Which some of you guys may be watching, and these may be normal cars, but a lot of these are really goofy, weird cars. Now, my goal here is to find a WJ, but obviously we're gonna be looking at anything and everything that we can find, but I'm really hoping to find a WJ. Now, this may be a very chopped up, cut up video, because as we're out over our trip here, I'm gonna be pulling out the camera or my cell phone and, recording or looking at vehicles as we find them. So it's gonna be very kind of hodgepodge cut up, but I at least wanna show you guys some of the weird, interesting, cool, whatever things that we see out on the road. So I'm gonna get off this horribly comfortable beach and get into the town and see what we can find. All right, guys, we are out on the street now. We are going to try to find something interesting. We are walking, or I am walking, out of the new resort here in Cancun. If you'd like to see a video on that, check out the wife's channel. Link down in the description. We did kind of try to do a decent little walk around of the resort. So yeah, we're going to head over. Luckily, there's kind of a mall thing over here with a parking garage. That should have a whole lot of cars in a small amount of area, so we can go through and see what we can find. Now, guys, as we're walking down, you can just kind of get a glimpse at some of the traffic. Now, 90% of the traffic out here is going to be vehicles moving tourists. That is like the whole area here. So pretty much everything is just going to be taxis moving people. Now, again, brands we don't even have here in the States. Here's a seat. I don't even dare try and pronounce it, but kind of cool looking cars that I feel like would sell, but maybe there's a reason why they're not here. Here's a Chevy, just unbranded anything. Suzuki Vitara, still obviously selling outside of the United States. Hyundai, yeah. Not a Ford Explorer or a Ford Escape, but a Ford EcoSport Trend. Just weird vehicles. Obviously even smaller than our Escape, but just a very kind of weird thing. Mazda 3, there's something we are used to here. But up here we've got a Renault. Yeah, that's a weird one. But again, a kind of decent looking vehicle that you would assume would sell in the United States, but for whatever reason is not sold here. Now we are walking up on a Nissan X Trail. Obviously not brand new, but still kind of interesting looking Nissan. It looks very front wheel drive based, but still a Nissan X Trail. Now, guys, if we thought we could get curb rash in the United States, this curb is like halfway up my leg. That curb would absolutely eat some wheels and tires. Now, guys, there is a whole bunch of motorcycle and scooter traffic out here, so obviously we've got parking for that, but we do have a absolutely tiny little four-wheeler here also mixed in with the, Vespas and scooters. Gosh, all right. So we're already looking at weird stuff. We've got a Suzuki Vitara again. God, a Renault KWID. Just a very, again, super compact. This is the Outsider. No clue if that's factory or if that is a custom package, but we got black wheels on this thing. Again, another Suzuki. Again, guys, I am horrible at pronouncing things, but definitely when they're super weird like this. Just lots and lots of tiny vehicles. Oh, here we go. We're bringing it home here with the Dodge. This is the Dodge Attitude. Again, even the Volkswagens can't be normal. We can't just have a Volkswagen Jetta. We've got the Volkswagen Vento. And then just an absolutely tiny Chevy here. Let's see what this thing is on the back. This is, oh boy. This is a Chevy Max's. Again, I'm surely butchering the Chevy next to the Chevy. Goodness gracious. It is the comfort package. We do have GM chiclets on this thing, but absolutely ridiculously small. We've got something normal. We've got a Ford Escape. We've got a Jeep Patriot, and no idea. No idea here, guys. Is this just a Mazda? No. Wow. This, I guess, guys, let me know. What badge is that? That is pretty cool looking. It's obviously a very new modern vehicle. We've got LED taillights on this thing, but that is a weird one. Kind of gives me Mazda 3 hatchback vibes, but it's obviously not. We got some pretty sweet headlight little triangle LED swoops going on right next to a absolutely unknown name brand, also JAC, and this is the SEI2 with a bull on it. What in the world? JAC, that is a thing. Okay, again, normal Chevy Aveo. That should be a Ford Festiva, unless I'm going to be real disappointed once we get to the back. Okay, no, we're normal there. Ford Festiva. Hey, we've got a normal Jeep Wrangler TJ here. We've got some black painted wheels. Pretty normal. We've got some, whoa, very knockoff BFG KO2s. We've got the, man, again, I don't even attempt to say that name, but we've got some knockoff KO2s on this thing. Now I see an absolute ton of these. This should be a Nissan March. Oh yeah, Nissan March. Ton of these things running around as taxis, so they must be super affordable. But yeah, again, just a ton of them running around. Here is a newer Suzuki. Again, guys, help me out with the pronunciation here. We've got some crazy names, but this thing kind of is cool looking. Super crazy flared rear wheel wells. Yeah, that again, some of these things are pretty cool looking. I would assume these things would sell in the United States. Civic. Ooh. Not a Civic Sport or an SI, but it's a Civic, and then the other side where we would have Sport, it says VTEC. Again, another seat, and again, if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I'm sorry, but, and this was an FR trim package, so I would assume relatively sporty in comparison to others, but yeah, we've got a cool rear spoiler on the back. And then again, relatively modern Discovery Sport next to a original Bug. Now I think in Mexico Bugs were made all the way up into 2004. No clue again what this year is. If you Bug guys know, obviously you'd know, but yeah, like I said, I think if memory recalls, Bugs were made all the way to 2004. So this could be that new. I have no idea. Next to another Renault here. And surprisingly enough, we do have a couple of electric charging stations. So looks like two, maybe level 2, maybe level 3, kind of hard to tell. Now guys, this thing is awesome. Volkswagen not a Jetta, but it is a El Camino pickup based Volkswagen. It is the Robust, or is that maybe just the company's name? I'm not sure, but man, that thing is cool. Again, I wish we had some of these things in the United States. Again, this one is set up with a work topper on it, but you can just imagine that body line if it did not have that topper on it. That would be pretty legit. Again, you would assume Volkswagen Jetta. It is not. It is a weird Vento. All right, guys, so this is going to be cut in with some cell phone footage, but I had to show you guys the Suzuki Jimny here. I have not seen one in person, and yeah, I was walking by and saw this thing and had to show you guys. These are the super cool little Suzuki four-wheel drives that are, gosh, I just so wish we had these things in the United States. They are dirt cheap for a brand new vehicle, and they're just really, really cool. You can make them into really awesome off-roaders. This one happens to be a manual, like a lot of vehicles obviously here, but man, just such cool little screen radio up there. They're just awesome, brand new, modern vehicles that you could build stupid cheap and make into an awesome off-roader. So guys, it's obviously pretty diverse on the vehicles out here. You know, we've got a original old Bug here, you know, sitting next to a Nissan, sitting next to a Jetta. But as you walk just a little bit further down, there is a G63 AMG. So I mean, it's obviously very diverse. V8 bi-turbo. We've got the side exhaust, so it's obviously a real G63. But yeah, that's just the diversity in just the same parking lot here. Now we're coming up on another little small, or at least another restaurant here, which we have some nice cars parked in. We've got a Taycan sitting next to a new Grand Wagoneer, sitting next to a BMW. Now, no, I don't know my BMW specs, but obviously a newer, nice BMW versus a old Volkswagen Bug. And again, next to a Domino's Pizza with very legit Domino's delivery motorcycles, and a Volkswagen Pioneer. And then again, guys, just in front of another restaurant here, we have a brand new 911. Looks like, yeah, carbon brakes. I do not believe it is a Turbo S, but we do already have water intrusion in the taillights. It's a tough climbing out here next to the ocean. Ooh, and either this thing is wrapped or it is carbon roofed. So yeah, pretty cool center lock car sitting here in Mexico, almost getting backed into with a Volkswagen. All right, guys, I told myself that I wanted to find a WJ, and not too far into our journey, we found a WJ. So yes, we've seen cool stuff, and we'll probably keep seeing some other cool stuff, but you guys know. So guys, we've got a limited, yeah, honestly, other than being filthy dirty, it does not look too bad. V8 limited. I am maybe getting nervous. It is two-wheel drive. Kind of hard to tell, but I think she is two-wheel drive. But regardless, it is a WJ. Oh my gosh, we've got a backup camera. But yeah, WJ in Mexico. We gotta look, Is she four-wheel drive? Oh my goodness, V8, two-wheel drive. It is a race WJ. Any WJ that's two-wheel drive and a V8 is automatically a race WJ. So I'm gonna keep throwing random clips as I find interesting, weird stuff, and we'll keep going. But I had to show you guys the WJ. All right, guys, just walking down the street, found a insanely small Hyundai. My goodness, it is teeny. It is a i10. What in the world? It is an, oh my gosh, i10 by Dodge. That my mind is melted right now by what that says. I guess I again need to research, but does Dodge make a car for export Hyundai? That makes no sense, and I almost wonder if that badge wasn't placed on there, but who even knows at this point? All right, guys, we just spotted another WJ out here, and I actually just talked with the owner, or we kind of talked because he didn't speak English. But yeah, we were talking through pictures. I was showing him pictures of my WJs, and yeah, so I wanted to show you guys around his. It is pretty cool here. It is a limited, but it's been painted. Pretty cool blue color, and yeah, it's like I said, a limited. He's got it lifted. He's got wheel spacers on this thing. Oddly enough, though, it is two-wheel drive. I glanced in, and it is a two-wheel drive WJ. So maybe all Mexico spec WJs are two-wheel drive, or maybe we've just happened to see two-wheel drive WJs. But he's got a cool roof basket on it. I mean, he's doing the WJ thing right out here with this thing. So yeah, I don't know, pretty cool, but I guess I am wondering if all WJs over here are two-wheel drive. I really have no idea. That may be something to research. And guys, here is another kind of weird thing. If we thought the Volkswagen Golf was small, Volkswagen Polo obviously is even smaller. Yeah, very much a Golf front end or Rabbit front end, but even smaller looking than a Rabbit or Golf. All right, guys, like I said, this is going to be horribly chopped up video with just random little bits and pieces as I see stuff, but I see a WJ down the road here. It's lifted, wheels and tires. I'm pretty excited, but before we get to that, we are going to be walking up on a newer Toyota Hilux. Again, another cool thing that I wish we could have in the States, but we don't. This one's obviously just in work truck trim, but four-door Hilux, I don't know, just for some reason that's a lot cooler than a Toyota Tacoma, the fact that that is a Hilux. But as you guys can see in the distance, big WJ. Holy crap, this thing is large. Now, one thing I am interested to see, are all WJs over here two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive? What's the deal? Man, she's a big WJ. We've got roof basket on the top. We've got lights. It is a, dang, we've even got new 4th Gen Grand side badging. Newer lights up front. This thing is super nice. Oh, and we are four-wheel drive. We've got track bar, steering dampener. No, that is a proper WJ. We've got a little fender trimming there at the front and back. But no, that's very respectable. Again, not a huge fan of the 20s, but honestly, with this big a lift, it really doesn't go bad with it. Skid plates, wow. Front control arm drop brackets, kind of weird. But no, guys, that is a proper WJ. It even has a little bit of leak going on in the wheel well, like you'd hope for on every WJ. But no, that's super clean. I'm pretty impressed with that thing. All right, I know I get way too excited about my dumb Jeeps, but yeah, we'll continue cutting and chopping footage into this thing as we go here. All right, now we're heading across this little street here because I see a bunch of these things, and this is the first one that I think I've got on camera for you guys, but they kind of look cool. It is a Renault Duster. Now, yes, I'm sure it's just a little, you know, front wheel drive based crossover SUV, but for some reason these things look kind of neat. Again, I would assume this would sell in the United States. I don't know why a lot of these companies, yes, Renault is not in the United States, but again, a lot of these I think would sell just like everything else does. I don't believe we are badged this way on our CRV. CRV VTEC Turbo Touring here. Again, there is a normal Jetta. I guess that does look considerably larger than those smaller Volkswagens we were seeing. Oh, Now, all right, guys, here is a very good comparison. This is a newer Nissan X-Trail versus that earlier, older X-Trail that we saw before. So yeah, this is what it's turned into now over the years, is a just normal crossover SUV. Oh, okay, I'm on the run. People are in the vehicle. But MG, again, another name that we do not have in the United States. This is an MG5, but a very Jetta looking vehicle. But again, pretty cool seeing the MG name on vehicles that we do not have in the United States. And not a bad looking vehicle. All right, guys, another Grand Cherokee Limited. I think that's all I've seen is Limited Grands. Another V8 Quadra Drive. So there's definitely WJs abundant out here in Cancun, Mexico. That makes my heart warm. Do I want to buy a Cancun, Mexico WJ and bring it home? No, absolutely not. The winter, or excuse me, the salt air cannot be good for these things if they're already doing what they do back home in the States. Well, guys, hopefully you liked going around looking at some of those weird cars and weird models that we definitely do not have in the United States. And more importantly, we did find 3 WJs, so that made everything worth it. That made the whole trip worth it, of course, is finding WJs here in Mexico. So guys, I am going to let you go with that random, sporadic, cut together video, and we are going to hopefully fly back home and get back to reality, get back to work, and hopefully making the normal videos. So guys, thank you as always for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time.